Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, just tuning in through our friends around the world, thanks to iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Our next guest is someone that really covers a lot of what we talk about on this show. We talk about the arts. We talk about entertainment. We talk about books. Our next guest has done it all. We're excited to welcome Angel Aviles to our program today. You know her as an actress and someone who's worked behind the camera, but also she's worked in front of the stage as well as a life coach, and now as an author. Had a chance to buy her new book that is very personal for her that we're going to talk to her about today. It's called Too Happy to Be Sad Girl, Surviving Sadness, Ditching Anxiety, and Learning to Thrive. We'll talk to Angel not only about her journey, but also what she hopes the book does for you that read it. Angel, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Hi, thank you for letting me come on.
Hey, the pleasure's definitely all mine. I saw in a YouTube video that you did when you were talking about the book, Angel, that you said that this book has been a decade in the making. So what has it been like for you to be able to finally share this story with the world?
Well, it's been a total pleasure. I think a lot of what I talk about in the book, there was a lot of shame involved when I was going through it, and that was a big problem. And so being able to connect with people on so many levels has been a pleasure, and knowing that so many people are going through similar situations has really been incredible.
Did you feel like, Angel, because as I said, people got to know you, of course, being on camera as an actress, but also I should mention you're also an empowerment coach. You're someone who's been out there, inspiring and empowering others. Did you know that it was going to be almost a necessity then for you to be able to share your own story this way?
I had no idea. I mean, I don't think that anyone goes into the kinds of situations that I went into, at least, thinking that this is really going to make a difference. Just a little bit of history is that I started as an actress. So I grew up in New York City. I went to high school performing arts. I always knew that I wanted to be an actor. I was always a creator, very creative type. And I think that your audience will understand there's like this idea that creatives, we're just different. And so empathetic. And a part of that process was kind of expanding into being able to touch on my personal life in a whole different way that I never really expected.
And I think that is the connection that people feel because, Angel, you know better than most that when people have gotten to know you through projects like what you've been a part of, they feel as though you're kind of a part of the family, right? So then when you then talk to them about things that you've personally gone through, you do find that connection. Has that been one of the high points for you in this journey, even though it may be painful at times to be able to think about, one of the high points being the fact that you are being able to connect with people in a unique way?
Without a doubt, one of the best things that ever happened, part of my experience was that I went through years of panic and just debilitating anxiety. And I couldn't be in crowds. I got claustrophobia, agoraphobia, and coming out of that just was such a gift, not only for my mental and physical health, but for the ability to connect with other people and to just remind us all that we are capable of getting over dark times, and we're able to make something out of even the darkest times.
And you're so transparent in this. I want to actually read something from the book. I was sharing with Angel that I got mine through Amazon. And one of the things that you actually said in the book is this: when it comes to your story in words, Angel, you write, over the years, people would ask me when I was going to write a book. I would say one day, but the truth is I didn't know how I was going to do it or what I would say. For one thing, I've always loved books, but I didn't enjoy writing. The power of writing indeed came as a surprise to me, and I'm so grateful it did. But this is the part that I think is really the big thing for people. As you talk about journaling, you said, I use the written word to clean up my mind space. And I'm not talking about books. I'm talking about journals. And as you talked about journals, you talk about how it's something you recommend, and you say you can call your mental dumping ground a journal, a diary, a notebook, or whatever you want. If you're like me, just writing things down is a life-saving tool. Each style of writing has had a place in my healing. So talk to us about that. What was it like for you to discover that, Angel, the power of writing and letting go that way?
Oh, my gosh. There's so much healing in being able to write. There is the mental dump. That's just getting your thoughts out. Sometimes we have thoughts, and they can preoccupy us. They can keep us up at night. They can make us anxious. And literally, I remember being, I have 3 kids, and in 4th grade, there's this exercise that is called the burn of the can't. And so you write all these things that you can't do, and then you burn them up. And there's just something ritualistic about that, but there's also something that just neurologically happens. When we write, we are using our hands, we're using our brain, we're able to process things on so many levels. So ultimately, my book did come out of several journals that I had kept, but every kind of writing, whether it's a diary where you keep your thoughts, a to-do list where you keep yourself organized, or just what one author Julia Cameron calls morning pages, which is a stream of consciousness. They all have a purpose and, to me, have been incredible tools.
Yeah, what a great thing. And I love the fact that you are so real. I think people, as they're reading it, they will hear your voice. How important was that for you in writing the book, Angel, to make sure it was as much you as possible?
Oh, my gosh. Well, of course, that's the most difficult part, right? Because initially I wrote this book as a workbook, right? I was coaching already. I started my coaching practice in 2011. So I just wrote it as a workbook for my clients. You know, these are some exercises that you can do, and I really thought that was what I was going to print. But then I realized that the power is not just in the exercises, but in the telling of the story and in the connections and in sharing what makes us all human, which is our errors. You know, there's the hero story. And it's not a hero story unless the hero goes through the tragedy. And that's what I had to share.
Yeah. And I think that is, again, what people are now able to enjoy. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, it's on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Angel Aviles to our program today. We're talking with her not only about her journey that led her to write the book, Too Happy to Be Sad Girl, Surviving Sadness, Ditching Anxiety, and Learning to Thrive, but also what it's been like for her to share that with all of you. I noticed, too, when I was prepping for this, social media has been one of the ways that you've been able to kind of connect, especially on Facebook even. I mentioned YouTube earlier, Angel, but Facebook been one of the things. You have a Facebook page set up for the book. What has that been like for you to kind of build your tribe around this message?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I think I had my Facebook page before I even had my book or my practice. Really, I started the page because of fans of the film Mi Vida Loca and the character that I played, ironically, called Sad Girl. And so it's been amazing connecting from people from all over the world who, one, felt underrepresented and really could relate to my character, but even more so, as the years have gone by, have continued to follow me and inspire me and share their truths with and their victories with me, just from all over the world. And it's been just a phenomenal experience. I'm blessed.
You talk about in the book also about the connection between mind and body, and I love the fact that you even get into that with yourself about the importance of moving. Talk to us about that, how you got to look at your body differently and your body's role in your healing differently.
Well, I started out as a dance major in high school, so I think I always did have an appreciation for movement and the way my body moves through space. Movement is incredibly important. I think if you follow any kind of Eastern medicine, there's such an equation between the mind and the body. and this energetic system. I do not know anyone that can remain healthy in mind and body and not have some form of movement, even if it's just eye movement. You know, it's got to be something. There's got to be a conscious connection. And I really mean that. Like, there's eye exercises, there's face exercises. I think sometimes we're just not conscious about our muscles, our bodies. We're so intricately made. You know, there's thousands and thousands of muscles, bones, nerves, and all of this is working in this incredible system, and it's all run by your brain. And it's just really important to figure out how you're going to make a daily connection to that so you can stay healthy.
Right. I think that is such a great thing. When you kind of look at the layers of your life, Angel, what has that been like for you? Because as you kind of look at some of the people who've come into your life along the way and the lessons you've learned from them, in the chapter that I was referencing about the body and exercise, you give some examples there. And one of the things you said about a woman that you came in contact with, and I love this, you say this, I share this story with you, and I want our audience to read the story. I'm not going to tell them what the story was, but you wrote, I share this story with you for a few reasons. Number one is that I learned so much about myself from that time. Through all of my growing pains, I've learned to be more compassionate toward others as well as myself. I try to remember that we all come to every relationship with baggage and that we all have a baby gangsta. I can't be sure how everyone's subconscious mind talks to them or what it has to say, but I know we all have chatter. I love that empathy there. So what was that like for you to see how your different encounters in life, Angel, kind of help you with those levels of not only growth but also empathy?
Well, I think that, I know exactly the time you're talking about, and I think that one of the things that happened to me was that I began to realize that there's a process through which I healed and how I work with my clients. And there is a period of awareness, there's a period of acknowledgement, there's a period of forgiveness, which is extremely important. That forgiveness has to be within yourself first and then for others. And in that process of forgiveness, that's where I discovered empathy, because I realized that I have my humanity and so does everyone else. And I want to live in a forgiving world, and I start that. People make mistakes. We're not perfect. And I think that expectation is something that we place a lot on others as if they're supposed to know where we are in our minds.
Did you find the past year and a half, 2 years that we've gone through, Angel, were more challenging because of us being separated, of us being kind of without the things so many times that we can be fed with and nurtured with? Did you find that to be an extremely challenging time for you?
For me, yes. Obviously, there's been challenges, but what I found this last year and a half has revealed most of all was where we needed healing in a big way. I think the whole idea of where our mental health is and how honest we are and how authentic we are with where we really are, that's something that was new. That's new. It always existed. This climate just exacerbated it and made it come to the forefront, and it was just something that always needed to be addressed. And now that we're here and we have the space to be more real with one another, I think some real healing can happen for everyone.
Love that. And it's so necessary. And the great thing is, it is possible. You say, in the book, and you talk about this, about hindsight being 20/20. It's one of the things that we all kind of realize. What is your hope when people do pick up Too Happy to Be Sad Girl? What is your hope that it does for them and helping them to kind of clear the way through the chatter?
I love that question. And really, I just hope that everyone can see the magnificence in themselves and know that they're worth the journey. However long it may be, they're worth it, because who they meet at the end is incredible.
Yeah, I think it's such a great point and such a great reminder for all of us. I tell you, for myself, as I've been reading the book, Angel, the thing that really sticks out to me is that that attitude of gratitude. We hear that, but I think a lot of times just appreciating the little things and what a big impact that could make. I noticed your appreciation for things in the book, and I think for us, to really be able to think about that, yes, we have our challenges, but to always remember the things we have around us, and being grateful for that and sharing that gratitude, I think, can go a long way as well. Again, everyone, Angel Aviles has been our guest. The book is Too Happy to Be Sad Girl, Surviving Sadness, Ditching Anxiety, and Learning to Thrive. It's available through our friends at Amazon.com. You can get it either in print or the Kindle edition of the book. The Kindle edition is less than $4, so you have to take advantage of that. Go ahead and get it for yourself. And Angel, how can our audience stay connected with you?
Well, I am on Facebook, Angel at Too Happy to Be Sad Girl. I'm also on Instagram under my company, which is Angel Awakened. And you can always go to angelawakened.com.
All right, Angel, thank you so much for this time. I really appreciate you stopping by the program and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
We thank your audience for tuning into this episode of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.